fans, and welcome to another episode of Silver Screams Reacts. Tonight we are reacting to the Split official trailer for, it's a 2017 horror movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan. aka the mastermind behind The Sixth Sense, and the guy who brought us everything else that's not The Sixth Sense.
Well, I hear that Unbreakable was good, and I hear that The Visit was good.
I hear mixed reviews about The Visit, because I didn't go out to watch it because I had a friend see it and he was like, don't waste your money. He was so vehement. He's like, wait till it comes out on like Netflix or something if you feel inclined to watch it. So I didn't feel the need to run out to the theater to go see it. But even the glowing reviews of The Visit were just, it wasn't bad. So, I mean, if it's not terrible, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not good. Maybe it just seems good by comparison. But the thing is that you really do have to feel bad for M. Night Shyamalan because he peaked so early. And Unbreakable's good. And I actually, for all of its problems, and believe me, it has problems, I really liked Signs. When it first came out in theaters, maybe it's just because I was in high school or middle school or whenever that was. I was younger at the time, but I was really sucked into the suspense. It was very effective. It was the village where he started to really teeter off, and then just everything after that seems to have just spun out of control.
I just keep thinking of our friend's Hall H story. It was years ago, Comic-Con, and they started showing a trailer of this movie about these people that were trapped in an elevator. It was possible that one of them was possessed. You know, the trailer looks really engaging, and they're showing it in, it's either Ballroom 20 or Hall H. So, you know, there's a couple thousand people in there. And everyone seemed really intrigued. This is the way my friend tells it. The title comes up, and everyone's still intrigued, and a devil. And then M. Night Shyamalan's name appears on screen, and everyone in that hall just goes, oh!
See, I'm
united in disappointment.
See, I lived that in a movie theater. I didn't realize that happened at Comic-Con. That's a special kind of humiliation. You really gotta feel bad.
I think it was one of those things where they were just showing trailers in between the panels like they do sometimes.
But you really do have to feel bad for this guy, because not everything is his fault, if that makes any sense. Like, there's a lot of shenanigans behind The Last Airbender that made it the fiasco
really
that it was.
Studios screwing him over, and like the script that he got approved was evidently very true to the series. Like, he actually does know it and like it and watch it with his kids. And then the girl who played Katara was the daughter or the niece or something of a studio exec.
Yeah.
And so they had to cast everyone to match, and she couldn't act to save her life, and it was bad. But that's one where I'm willing to take the accounts of a lot of people on set who said it wasn't his fault. Like, it was bad because other people did things.
And that's the other thing, too, is that, you know, films are a collaborative effort. Even the worst film, you do have to applaud to an extent because
it got made.
It got made. And that's not something everybody can do. I mean, we saw Mono's Hands of Fate. Not everybody can be a great director. You know, it's an occupation that isn't for everybody, but of course if a film is bad, the writer and the director will take the brunt of everything, even though they are two cogs in a very large machine.
They're more
obviously.
The writer, someone writes a script and then 8,000 other people get their hands on it and tear it to pieces. So the writer may not always be at fault.
And
the director is an influential cog in the machine.
Oh yeah, obviously the director's supposed to be the one to steer said machine in the right direction. That's the whole point of having a director. But the reverse is also true. If you have a really shitty script, not even the best director in the world will be able to save it. And so I think where a lot of where M. Night Shyamalan has his problems is he's the writer and director. And either it was ego from his earlier successes, or it wasn't necessarily ego, it was just a dedication to his particular vision without anybody being able to circumvent and go, hey, let's sit down and talk about how maybe this can be improved.
Or pressure to make another movie like the ones he made that were hits.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this was a real big hit for this studio. We want the same thing.
Yeah. What's the twist going to be this time? And it's like, you, without meaning to, you back yourself into this corner. And
because
then
it has to have a twist.
And it's
the
same.
Twist is that there isn't a twist.
I mean, Wes Craven never thought he was going to be,
The master of horror.
The master of horror. He just made Last House on the Left, and then everybody's like, okay, what's the next horror movie you're going to do?
And it just kind of...
And it goes from there, and nobody ever sets out to be the master of horror, the master of twists, or whatever. It's just, it sort of happens, and it's, so again, take what we're about to see with a grain of salt, because I feel bad for this guy, but at the same time, it's like, can you get out of this sort of spiral that you've gotten yourself into?
And again, the visit was better. From
comparatively
what I heard,
speaking.
It wasn't a dumpster fire, so, we're getting better.
Or he's getting better at the very least.
So let's see. Let's do this.
So yeah, let's see how it goes. And for the record, I thought the premise for Devil, in terms of like killer in an elevator, was a great premise. Making it actually the devil, and executing it very poorly. That's a bummer. So split personality, you think? Who knows? Oh, that girl's in like everything right now. I saw a horror trailer where she's going to be playing like some weird kind of alien girl. Not alien, but oh dear, that escalated quickly. But yeah, she's going to be playing like an experimental girl in another movie. Oh.
What's going on?
Well, this isn't good.
I was sent to get you for a reason.
There's a flower on the pillows, a flower in the bathroom. Like, we're important.
The only chance we have is if all three of us go crazy on this guy.
Who is that? Maybe she can help us.
Don't worry. He's not allowed to touch you. He knows what you're here for. He listens to me. My name's Hedwig.
How old are you?
9.
I've never seen a case like this before. 23 identities live in Kevin's body.
Who are you? Help me get out of here, Hedwig.
You trying to trick me? I'll tell on you. Aren't you the clever one?
An individual with multiple personalities can change their body chemistry with their thoughts.
Someone's coming for you.
Who's coming?
The beast.
There's a man here. He abducted us and he's going to kill me. We're meant for something. Something horrible.
The world will understand now. The beast is real. He's done awful things to people, and he'll do awful things to you.
I can honestly say I was not expecting that.
I wish the trailer hadn't given us the whole 23 personalities and can change their body chemistry. It's like, they can change their body chemistry at will. Okay.
I feel like
Let me
that's
just
not
fact check
true. Well, and even the whole notion of split personalities is a thing that has been heavily debated and debunked to an extent.
Dissociative identity disorder,
Yeah.
whether or not. But just playing it in a horror movie like this and having it be the slow reveal, there's someone out there, wait, it's him, wait, it's not him. Like, this could be, if we're moving away from the supernatural, in the way that we did for The Visit and the way that we seem to be doing for this might be a better way to do things.
I concur, but I'm also not entirely sure that this isn't 100% non-supernatural.
I hope it is.
I hope so too. I feel like grounding M. Night Shyamalan is probably the best thing for his career, even though, because most of everything he's done has been supernatural horror, but like, The Visit wasn't supernatural.
Yeah.
Like, the monsters in that weren't real, and look how that one turned out.
Honestly, I'd love it if this one didn't have a twist.
I would...
Like the twist is, there is no twist. I'd be down.
Well, I mean, the twist might be that he's not crazy. That this has all been a big
he's just
game.
a really good actor.
That he's just... I mean, it's James McAvoy, and that's
he is a really good actor.
He is a great actor, and that's the thing is that, like, a lot of times M. Night Shyamalan gets really good actors on his projects. And I've got to say, at least in terms of this trailer, this was a very well done, effective trailer. Watching this movie, seeing James McAvoy in a dress and, like, stuff like that, it could either, depending on how this movie is executed, it could either be a really great suspense thriller, or it could be ridiculous. Like, you look at James McAvoy in a dress and it's just like, this is uncomfortable, but I'm also kind of laughing. But, like, at the same time, because he's such a good actor, I'm also kind of uneasy.
And what we had in the trailer was quite good in terms of, oh, well, crap.
Well, and again, it makes kind of the brutish personality seem like the one, not necessarily the ones you need to be afraid of. It's the sweet little lady who's like, don't worry, he's not allowed to touch you, you're meant for something more. It's like, oh, I don't like you. Can you bring back the kid?
I mean, didn't we have a movie where it looked like it was a whole bunch of strangers in a hotel that had the same...
I was going to say, spoiler alert.
It's like 15 years old!
That movie is Identity, and I was actually going to bring that up because I love Identity. Identity is another example of a really good suspense thriller where it's done from the framework of a murder mystery, and it's not until about 2/3 of the way through the movie that they reveal that they're not different people at a hotel. They are multiple personalities that have all been forced to confront one another in an effort to, like, get to expose the violent personality, so that they can save this man from being put to death. And I freaking love that movie. It's a great murder mystery. And then they throw that psychological twist in there, and my only wish is that I could go back and make sure I wasn't spoiled for the movie before I watched it.
Oh no.
But, so I look at this and I see it as a potential spiritual successor to Identity, which, that's a tall order, guys. I really like that movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's very good, but yeah. Spoiler alert!
It's my refrain for a lot of these. I haven't seen that horror movie. Why not?
I mean,
because I won't sleep for a week.
Even if you know that particular twist in there, or you know that aspect of the story, that doesn't necessarily mean you know what's coming 100% of the way either. So it's still worth a watch, even if you know that component of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that looked way better than I gave it credit for. But yeah, I think it's going to come off a lot like The Visit, where it's like, because people didn't know whether to laugh or scream when it came to The Visit, and I feel like this is sort of going to be the same.
Well, and this one's also not stuck within the confines of found footage.
Yeah, shaky cam. There's definitely a different look to it.
Yes.
There's definitely a different look to it. If it didn't have M. Night Shyamalan's name on it, and if it didn't have from the director of bum 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 bum, I would not have guessed this was M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, that's the thing. It has... M. Night Shyamalan movies have a very specific pedigree, and that's not always a good thing.
You know, take it or leave it for what it is.
But it's in the same way, like, we saw a bit of a trailer that was released as one thing, and we were like, holy cow, this looks amazing, and started judging it on that merits, and then we got a full release of the trailer, and it turned out it was something else entirely. And so
spoilers here.
and so you take the trailer was released a couple days ago. I mean, and so you take the impressions that you had when you were watching it blind and wrap it in what you know it actually is. And I wonder if releasing a shorter, different trailer for Split before we advertised it as a Shyamalan movie would have been the same thing if they called it something else and had it be, just take this on its merits.
On the merits of what we're showing you.
And then wrapped it in, by the way, it's Split. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. We'd be like, we were really, really intrigued by this trailer. We thought this was this. We thought this was this. And now we know it's a Shyamalan movie. But we still think this because we saw it on its own merits before it had the name attached.
It would have to be a conscious decision on the part of, the studio to withhold names or to advertise it in a way that doesn't highlight the cast and crew and everybody, behind the scenes, because we're not stupid. Because of the internet and IMDb and things like that, everybody's up on everything pretty well unless you go the 10 Cloverfield Lane approach, in which case you just
and do viral marketing and then nothing else.
And just blindside everybody with okay, here's an official trailer 2 months before the movie comes out. Or less than that.
Released in front of Michael Bay's Benghazi movie?
Yeah.
Is that what that was? Something.
But that was one of the that's one of the only times I can really think of being blindsided by something. And the only reason I bring this up,
Cloverfield trailer.
The only reason I bring this up is because I recently saw a trailer, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was, but it said from the Academy Award-winning director of Braveheart. I was like, you mean Mel Gibson? So Mel Gibson directed this movie, is what you're saying.
And you just go.
But it just said the Academy Award-winning director of Braveheart. It didn't say Mel Gibson. So I was like, So it would have to be a very conscious choice on the marketing team to just withhold any of those typical things that they sprinkle into trailers to try to whet your appetite.
I feel like that would be smart in the case of a Shyamalan movie because he's trying so hard to rebuild his reputation. And this looks like it might be able to do it. But we were talking about, we're going to record Silver Screams tonight. And you brought up, there's a Shyamalan trailer. And I went, this should be interesting.
Well, and there are people who are going to...
that name.
And there are people who are going to hate on it just because it's a Shyamalan thing. And, in their book, he can do no good.
I would love to see it released completely guerrilla. No one knows him. He's at the red carpet because he was invited as a guest.
It's too late for that.
I know, but even just the next one or whatever, and then you don't know it until the credits roll, and you're like, oh.
Well, again, M. Night Shyamalan aside, I think this was a very well put together trailer.
Yes.
And I gotta say, I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Again, I will not see it because I won't sleep for a week. That said, I am also very intrigued.
It's
will Katie see this movie is not really a good bar of because we're a horror channel and I'm the resident wuss. So, will Katie see it?
She doesn't even go here.
You invited me here. You invited me here.
Never said I didn't. But yeah,
I'm a special guest. I have a visa.
This looks interesting.
Yes.
Reserve final judgment until the movie actually comes out. But this looks like it's at the very least heading in the right direction. All right. Well, Katie, where can people go if they want to find you?
On Twitter and YouTube at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet.
I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. Be sure to follow Silver Screams at Silver_Screams. Like us on Facebook. All that fun stuff. We want to know, what's your favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie? I definitely huge fan of The Sixth Sense when it initially came out. But like I said, I really like Signs. So yeah, I feel like that one gets a lot more flack than it deserves.
The only one I've actually seen is Unbreakable.
Good, right? Good.
Pretty good.
So yeah, what's your favorite Shyamalan movie? And/or what's your favorite worst Shyamalan just disaster?
Wait, I have actually seen Airbender. We bought the riff tracks for that. And
we
watched
did.
it with riff tracks.
We did.
And riff tracks made it bearable.
Not very. But more bearable
We
anyway.
were still drunk, but
The alcohol made it bearable.
Rift Tracks helped.
But yeah, what's your favorite terrible Shyamalan movie, and what's your favorite good Shyamalan movie? Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you all next time.